to Yi's Kundalini breath for clarity. So today we are dropping into some Kundalini breath styles. So this breath work was inspired by the goddess Yi. She's an Aboriginal goddess. And oh gosh, I just got freaked out. I'm like, wait, is my mic on? Could you imagine? I go through this whole thing and then come to find out it's like all silent. Anyway, she's an Australian Aboriginal goddess of the sun, light, and creation. Across stories of Aboriginal peoples, especially with the, and please bear with me, I apologize if I mispronounce this, but especially within the Gamilere tradition, Yi is the one whose awakening brought warmth, growth, and life to a once sleeping world. Where she walked, things bloomed. Where her light fell, the earth remembered herself, and that's the energy that we'll be calling in with today's practice. So, the intention with this breath work is to bring in illumination, renewal, and inner clarity. So, before we begin, I want to give you a little gentle roadmap of what we're doing so that you feel grounded and supported. We're going to be moving through 3 different styles of Kundalini breathwork: Sufi Grinds, Spinal Twist, and Breath of Fire with Ego Eradicator Mudra. Each of these is short and accessible, and I just really want to express, or I really want to drive this home, that it's not about performance and it's not about mastering anything. Kundalini breathwork is, well, Kundalini itself, Kundalini energy is really about inviting energy up. So we live in a planet where, you know, all of our energy is very much condensed down in these lower energy centers in our pelvic bowl, down in our root chakra. So Kundalini energy is more about inviting that energy to come up through the spine, right? It's an invitation for it to rise up through the navel, the solar plexus chakra, the heart, up through the throat, up through the third eye, out the crown. And if we think of it like a loop, I'll talk more about this in a minute, but it's sort of like that self-generating energy. So it's kind of coming up and around, up and around. It's never about force. So if you ever do any yin with me, you know I'm not a force girly. All right. I'm always like, let's invite. Same thing with this Kundalini, any kind of Kundalini, but especially like that Kundalini breath work. It's like we're pumping a lot of the breath. We're moving a lot of the breath. We're moving a lot of that energy with breath, but it's never about like force. Okay. I just want to be very clear on that. So our intention with this particular breath work and with the goddess Yi is clarity, and not necessarily like after this session you're just going to have like your whole life mapped out for you. Of course, like if that's your story, then like amazing. And like I want to be you when I grow up. But it could bring about like small shifts, right? Or it could just bring about like a mental clarity for you, or like lifting of the fog, or you might feel less heavy, just energetically heavy. You know, there could be just like a little subtle shift. So, you know, you may want to go into this practice with with some questions like, what in me wants to move? What next step is calling to me? What truth needs a little more light? Where am I ready to shine? Okay. And so know that maybe over the next coming days, or in your dreams, or whatever the case may be for you, these answers might come through, or Yi might let you know, she might shine a little light for you over the next few days to answer those questions. And you may or may not know, but not over the past, but a couple of days ago, on the 1st, actually, we had a full moon in Leo. I apologize for not having any sort of full moon anything. I've been a little busy, And it is my moon too. I'm a Leo moon. You would think I'm like, hello, center stage over here. And I did nothing. It was so unlike me. Anyway, I just felt so Leo, is ruled by the sun, and Yi and Leo just sort of, to me, I'm like, they seem like they'd be besties, right? Yi being that sun goddess, and then Leo being the ruled by the sun, they just have that sparkly golden vibe to them, and it just seemed right to me. So, my hope though is that this practice isn't just about like the moon. I'm hopeful that it's something that you'll want to return to anytime you need to a little pick me up, whether that be energetically or just usually it's energetically, let's be real, but it might be just a little reset for yourself. Like, you know what, I just need a little bit of a oomph to my day. I need a little bit of an auric reset, or clear my energy, whatever the case may be for you. And hopefully you'll come back and revisit. um so I talked about that. Leo energy is heart forward, brave, honest, and it asks us to step into ourselves with confidence and authenticity. And then, I did throw in the ego eradicator mudra with breath of fire at the end of our breathwork practice. So this posture is really great because it does help clear static and drama, the overthinking, any stories that are just no longer fitting. Okay. And I know for me personally, I know a lot about the ego, having the Leo moon. So anyway, but this practice itself, to me, I just feel like it's one of those kinds of practices that just sort of helps, like, brush helps brush the dust off your solar plexus. Okay. And then it kind of helps define your purpose and will and your inner truth. So why pair all of this with the goddess Yi? I'm so glad you asked. Because Yi is the myth about waking up the world, about the moment darkness breaks and light pours in, and it's about seeing clearly again after a long period of uncertainty. She simply shines and things reveal themselves in her presence. And that's the intention here, to awaken your inner sun, to let your clarity rise gently, naturally, and without pressure. Okay. As we move through these breaths, Sufi grinds, twists, and breath of fire, I invite you to imagine that golden energy spiraling up from your pelvic bowl, rising through your navel, softening your heart, brightening your mind, and spilling upward and around you like a slow, warm waterfall of light. This is how Kundalini loves to move. Spinal rise, loop, descend, repeat. Okay? That's how Kundalini energy moves. So if you're new to Kundalini breathwork, worry not. You don't need to experience. Sorry, you don't need experience to do this with me. I'm actually the next segment. I'm going to show you the 3 different breathwork styles. So if you've never done Kundalini breath, you can just hang out for that next segment, and I'm going to show you. Everything is timestamped below, by the way. So if you're coming back again, you can skip right to the practice. But if it's your first time watching the video, I recommend watching it through. If you're first time ever doing Kundalini breathwork, please stay for the whole thing. Your breath is your truest guide, so always listen to your breath. And this is your practice that you can return to whenever you're foggy, whenever your energy is heavy, whenever you want clarity, you want to reconnect to yourself, and whenever you want to refresh your auric field. If you are on your menstrual cycle within the first few days, I do recommend maybe going slower. If you are pregnant, again, I also recommend maybe skipping it or just doing very, very long, slow breaths, or just going very, very slowly. Or just, again, not doing it at all until you're not pregnant or not on your cycle. All right. I will see you in the next video, and I'm going to show you all of the different breathwork styles. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Satnam. Welcome to this brief little tutorial on the 3 different Kundalini style breaths that we'll be doing for this particular practice. All right, so come to a seated cross-legged pose, and we'll place the hands on our knees, starting with our Sufi Grinds. All right, so all of this breath is through the nose. So inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. All right, and we'll begin by coming forward with an inhale. Exhale, round out. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, round out. Inhale, forward. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good, let's change up the direction. Inhale, forward. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Find your center. We're going to engage the root lock here. Squeeze everything in as we breathe in. Hold the breath. Maybe close the eyes. Look up at the third eye space. Hold, 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 hold. And release. Release everything. Perfect. That was Sufi Grinds. Congrats. You just did your first Kundalini breath. Now let's move into spinal twists. We'll begin by keeping the spine elongated here. We're going to keep a little bit of a pelvic engagement as well. So engage the pelvic floor muscles. So everything is just, keep it engaged. All right. It doesn't have to be a full on like tight squeeze, but we're keeping it engaged to a degree. We want to keep the low back protected. My goodness. And then a little bit of an Uddiyana Bandha engagement as well. So the navel's drawn in toward the spine. The core is active, okay? We're going to bring the hands to rest on the shoulders, and you're going to go in the opposite direction of me because I'm not going to be mirroring you, okay? So we will inhale left, exhale right. Everything is through the nose. So all of the breath is through the nose. We inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose, okay? And then the head is just going to stay right in alignment with your spine. We can start slow. So we inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And we're twisting right at the navel, really. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. If you want to close your eyes, you can. If you want to speed up, you can. If you want to slow down, you can. Let's do 3 more. 2, 1. Come back to center. Take a deep breath in. Bring your eyes closed. Engage everything. Squeeze everything tight. Hold, 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 hold. Look up at the third eye space. And then release. Amazing. You just did spinal twist. Okay. So obviously our breathwork practice is going to be, that's going to be a little bit longer, but it gives you a sense of what a spinal twist is. You maybe want to practice a little bit on your own before you jump into our breathwork together, but it gives you an idea of what it is, how to do it. And, that way you're not thrown off and like, oh, what is this? I want you to practice safely. I want you to feel safe in your body before you do things like this. It's so important. Keeping your spine safe and healthy is so important throughout your life, but especially when you're trying new things. If this is brand new to you, I'm always like such an advocate for just keeping yourself safe and feeling good about what you're doing. Okay. So last thing we're going to do is breath of fire with the ego eradicator mudra. All right. So breath of fire, if you've never done it before, this is probably one of the best ways I've ever seen someone explain how to do it. This was how my teacher explained it the other day, and I loved it. So we're going to begin by panting together. Okay. So we're going to open our mouths and stick out your tongue. And I want you to just begin by letting your belly kind of go and panting, but let your belly do the work. You see how the belly is pulling the air in and out? Perfect. Now, close your mouth, bring your tongue back in, and let your belly continue to do the work. Okay? That is breath of fire. You'll notice that the breath comes in automatically. All the belly is really doing is pushing the air out. And when the belly pushes the air out, the breath automatically comes in. So it's not really like the belly is pulling the air in too. It's more about just it's more like it's just pushing the air out. And because it pushes the air out, the breath just automatically comes back in. So I hope that makes sense. Try it a few times. And you can go slow. There is still a pelvic floor engagement here, okay? There's still, the Mula Bandha is still engaged here. The root lock is still engaged to a degree. It's still, we're still keeping the low back safe. Obviously, the Uddiyana Bandha is engaged to a degree. And then we're keeping the heart lifted. We're keeping the chin somewhat tucked down toward the chest as well. As the heart lifts, the chin naturally kind of dips down. So that's just a part of how our anatomical makeup is. But we'll keep focusing on that. And then you can play around with the speed. Or you can go. So you choose, of course, your breath. Let your breath be your guide throughout our practice today and beyond, okay? And then ego eradicator mudra is if you were to make a fist, right? Just leave your thumbs out and then move the tips of your fingers to the tops of the pads of your hands. So if your hands are like in a fist here and then you just moved the tips of the fingers up. Perfect. And then your arms come out to about a 60-degree angle. And then I like to picture my thumbs sort of plugging up into the sun. Okay. And then from there, and you can see my belly still moving. So that is breath of fire. Let's do like 5 breaths, and then what we'll do is on the last breath, we're gonna draw everything in. The thumbs are gonna connect. I'll guide us, okay? We're gonna hold, and then we'll release everything down because that's how the breath is gonna go. So let's go. Ready? Deep breath in. Fingers come together, thumbs come together. Hold, 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 hold. Engage the root lock. Look up toward the third eye. And then release it off. And come down. Amazing. So that's basically how this breath practice is going to go together. And then we're going to end with a little meditation, about 5 to 7 minutes, probably. Might be a little bit longer. I haven't fully decided yet, but yes. Again, feel free to go as fast or as slow as you need to during our time together, and come back to this as often as you need to, practice as much as you need or want. And I look forward to breathing with you. I'll see you there. Welcome. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, empty out the breath. And on your next inhale, come forward. Sufi Grind at your own breath and your own pace. Inhale forward. Exhale back. A few more times in one direction. Release the breath, release the pelvic floor, and just let the breath return to normal. And just notice how the body feels. And just be for a few moments before moving into breath of fire. Setting up for breath of fire, arms come up to a 60-degree angle. The ego eradicator mudra. Breath of fire, here we go. Feel free to play with how fast or how slow the breath of fire is for you. If you'd like to go faster, if you need to go slower, if you want to, you can envision that golden light moving up from the pelvic bowl, up through the navel center, up through the heart, coming up through the throat, coming up through the crown of the head, bursting out through the crown of the head, bringing in all of that beautiful clarity. Keep going, you've got this. Keep going. See if you can bring a smile to your face. See if you can let go of any tension in the forehead. You're almost there. Keep going. Let this breath teach you what you need to know. Just a little bit more. You got it. You got this. Take a deep breath in. Thumbs connect. Hold, hold, hold. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Keep squeezing. Keep holding. Keep the gaze looking up at the third eye. And exhale, release. And just let the energy settle. And just be for the next few moments. Welcome to the meditation portion of our breathwork practice. You might decide you'd like to have a little cushion to sit on for our time together. I invite you just to take whatever seated position feels the best for you today. We'll connect forefinger to thumb, adjust your clothing if you need to. You might want to have one palm face down, one face up, or you can have both palms up or both palms down, just resting on the knees. And I invite you to just bring the eyes closed, elongate through the spine, lift through the heart, and just notice how the body feels after your breathwork session today. We're going to just bring the awareness to the space just above the navel. There's a bright golden light where you can just intend, almost like your own personal sun. And on your next inhale, I invite you just to envision that beautiful light energy coming up through the spine, all the way up, touching on the heart, clearing away any feelings of unforgiveness toward yourself or others, clearing away any words in the throat that you've spoken toward yourself that were unkind or untrue, any stories that you've said to yourself that were not true about what you're capable of. About what's possible for you, about your worth and your value. And bringing that light all the way up to that third eye space and behind your eyes, clearing away any vision that's been distorted, any way that you have seen yourself that is less than ideal. Any way that has been less than your truest you. If it feels helpful to ask the goddess Yi for help in clearing away any cobwebs that are clouding your vision of what's possible for you or shining your brightest light into this world, then do so. And if that doesn't feel right for you, then that's okay. You can ask your highest self, you can ask source, you can ask universal creator, or anything that just feels the best to you. Just intending now for each and every one of your beautiful auras to be sealed and blessed and protected, because the brighter we shine, sometimes the darker energies we can attract. And so I ask for an evil eye protection around each and every one of you. If you want to, you can envision little evil eyes all around your auric field, shielding out any little worms that want to come in and tell you things that are not true about you or try to bring you down. And for the next few moments, I'm just going to invite in some silence for you to just breathe into this space of awareness and your infinite potential. Beautiful. And we'll start coming back into this space by taking a deep breath in together through the nose and exhaling. And let's press the palms together right at the heart space. The thumbs will press up against the sternum. I invite you to flare the elbows out and lift up through the heart. From my heart to yours, thank you so much for breathing with me today. And may you carry this energy with you throughout your day and beyond. Satnam. Namaste.